Now, new, live, and local, and every weekday from 8 to 9 a.m. This is the show talking about what you want to know, what you need to know, and part of Woof Boom Radio's mission to use our voice to build our community. The all-new Delaware County Today, presented by Muncie Community Schools. Now on WMUN, the Talk of Muncie. Here's your host, Director of News Operations and lead morning anchor, Steve Lindell.
Sometimes I forget when that red light is on. We're on the radio talking about the weather, and it could get kind of tough later today and this evening. The real Paul Poteet will speak in seconds. Later this hour, we'll have our local news summary. There's a lot to cover, and we always start with the aforementioned real human being. He is none other than Paul Poteet.
Good morning. What a weather setup. Record high temperatures yesterday. Now, already some severe thunderstorms earlier this morning up in northern Indiana, but they're pushing away to the north and northeast. We're also dealing with fog first thing this morning. Once again today, temperatures well above average. Then late this afternoon, after about 4 o'clock, showers and thunderstorms that could be severe as we head into the evening. We're under a level 2 of 5 risk of severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center. A lot on the plate. High temperature today of 64. The showers and thunderstorms will end by about midnight tonight. And then colder air arrives, low of 42, and it only gets up to 49 on Friday. Maybe some morning sprinkles, but otherwise partly sunny, windy tomorrow. Mostly clear, 29 tomorrow night, and then on Saturday, partly sunny, 42. An inch or less of snow showers possible Sunday, high of 35. There's your WMUN Muncie weather. Back to you, Steve.
Yeah, I think I'm the one to blame for that possibly inch or two of snow because I put our patio furniture out in the backyard over the weekend. I think I jinxed us, Sheriff Skinner.
It's your fault.
Plus,
we just talked about how nice the weather was going to be for walk a mile. So
yep, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I wonder if they will cancel it because it's too nice. Is that possible?
Not going to happen.
No, it's not going to be canceled.
Flights are booked.
Flights are booked. He's Sheriff Skinner here.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning. He loves being inside the video studio. I did warn him again and remind him we were in our brand newest part of the compound. I did ask him to wear a shirt, and you were a little disappointed, I thought.
Well, you know, I've got my own thing on Thursday mornings, and you ruined it.
Is it Shirtless Thursday? Is that what it is?
I do my thing, you do your thing.
We have a lot to cover here with the sheriff. We talk about what people are talking about, and unfortunately, one of those many things is another officer shooting, one injured and another one died in Beech Grove, Indiana, earlier this week. How does this stuff happen, Sheriff?
It's heartbreaking. When I saw that on the news, it just breaks my heart. And to answer your question, how does it happen? There are bad people in this world. That's the bottom line. There are terrible, horrible people in this world, and people in law enforcement are faced to deal with those folks on a daily and hourly basis, and sometimes bad things happen to good people. It's just terrible.
It was another one of those stories where it was a domestic disturbance that officers in Beech Grove, Indiana were asked to respond to, and it doesn't sound on the surface like a domestic disturbance would be as dangerous as it is, but they turn out to be so tragic so many times.
So many times. Domestics and traffic stops. Those are the two big cop killers. And I don't know all the facts. From what I've heard, this guy was just ambushed. The two officers that arrived, and there's just not much you can do in an ambush situation. So our heart goes out to the folks in Beech Grove.
Sheriff Tony Skinner is our guest in our video studio here on the campus of Woof Boom Radio and WMUN. News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk. You didn't say anything about Paul Poteet. You held back there. I appreciate that. That was really nice of you.
Well, It's kicking a dead fake horse. So
Will you stop it? That's not true. He's a real human being. He is our Paul Poteet, and he's going to be on alert, by the way, today for us, because we might actually get some thunderstorms that could get strong or severe.
it's practically springtime.
It was for a couple of days, wasn't it?
Beautiful.
Want to talk about some crime trends, if you could. Share with our audience what kind of significant crime trends are your officers and all officers dealing with in the near present time here?
I will be honest, I'm not familiar with any trends that are going on in our communities. I will say, as I always say, there's a lot more property crime that goes around, thefts, people stealing your stuff off of your property, out of your cars. So take the universal precautions when it comes to protecting your stuff. Lock your house, lock your cars. Don't leave valuables visible. Just do the common sense stuff and take care of your family.
How big of a role do you think that drug pieces and parts have to do with some of that kind of crime stuff?
Yeah, it's very prevalent. Drugs and alcohol are related to an overwhelming majority of all crimes. So, whether it's somebody stealing something to go buy drugs or, for whatever reason, drugs and alcohol are almost always involved.
Delaware County Sheriff Tony Skinner is with us in our video studio. WMUN, Delaware County Today, live 8 to 9 a.m. on demand at WMUNmuncie.com. In case you sleep in or something. A couple of weeks ago, your department's issued a statement that we aired on our news. There was another one of those scam situations going on. This one falsely claiming one of the lieutenants at your office was trying to attempt personal information or money. Talk about that and what people should do if or when that happens.
We say it all the time. Folks, listen up. No law enforcement agency is ever going to call you on the phone and tell you that you have a warrant or that you owe money to the sheriff's office or to the police department or somebody's in jail that we can take credit card over the phone. That does not happen in real life. So feel free to hang up on those folks. They're very convincing, and like you and I talked about, it's just a numbers game. So eventually, if they call enough people, they're gonna bite. So don't fall for it.
Sheriff Tony Skinner is our guest on WMUN's Delaware County Today, news talk, sports talk, community talk. We see things on national news all the time, and fentanyl, it gets talked about a lot. And I think people might naturally think, we're far away from the huge cities and we're farther north and so on and so forth. Is fentanyl a thing here too?
Fentanyl is absolutely a thing here. Not just because we're a college town, but just because we're in America. So I tell people, if you're going to take a medicine or a pill or something, be 100% sure that it came from a pharmacy. Buy it from a pharmacy. Don't trust anything. Don't trust anybody. Don't trust your friends. Hey, so-and-so gave me this. It's cool. We have pressed fentanyl pills here in Muncie and Delaware County every single day. Do not take something that you don't know the origin of that. Do not do it, folks.
A lighter side of news, as you mentioned a little bit ago, we have an event coming up on Saturday at which it will not be the kind of weather that generally is appropriate for this time of year. We're not complaining, of course, but you're always seemingly there at Walk a Mile.
Yeah, Walk a Mile is a fantastic event, and for once it won't be blizzard-like conditions.
Right.
We hope it won't. Frank Baldwin there at the Mission is a salt of the earth guy. He's wonderful. The whole organization is wonderful. I've supported them for years. If you've never been to Walk a Mile, this would be a great weekend to come out and make it your first. Starts at 9 o'clock at the field house. It's just a wonderful event for a wonderful cause. People don't realize how important nonprofits like the Muncie Mission are to Delaware County. They really don't. I can't say enough good about it.
Well, thanks very much for your support of that and so many others, those similar kind of events. We appreciate your work, your effort, and of course, everybody in your midst. How you doing on staffing? Do you want to do a shout out for anybody maybe thinking about joining the troops
We're
there.
always taking applications, but right now, boy, knock on wood. Now we've got a few guys out on sick leave, but we're fully staffed right now. So I hate to jinx us, but I'm pretty happy about that.
Excellent. Delaware County Sheriff Tony Skinner, thank you for your time.
Thank you. God bless everybody.
I'll see you Saturday. We'll be there too. And this is Delaware County Today, with more coming in a moment on WMUN.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Ben Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G coverage. What? Franklin wasn't even a president. Hang on to those Benjamins. Dial pound 250, say micro, and save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, micro, to switch to an American wireless company that's truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
But I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.
Folks, we are seeing something truly disturbing. Anti-Semitism is on the rise around the world, and sadly, right here in America. Jewish schools being targeted, synagogues threatened, families living in fear. It's something we hoped we'd never see again in our lifetime. Silence is not an option. This is the moment to take a stand. That's why I want to tell you about the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, or IFCJ. They are on the front lines providing real help where it's needed most. They're giving food and shelter to Jewish families under threat, building bomb shelters for children, helping survivors of hate rebuild their lives. And they don't just respond to crisis, they work every day to prevent it. Your gift of only $45 will help support their life-saving work by helping provide food, shelter, and much more. So please call 888-488-IFCJ. That's 888-488-4325. Or go to ifcj.org. Every dollar helps. Don't wait. Be the difference. Visit ifcj.org or call 888-488-IFCJ now.
Want to hear more? Replays uploaded daily on WMUNmuncie.com. Now back to Delaware County Today with Steve Lindell, presented by Muncie Community Schools.
That is the voice of WMUN. His name is Tom Campbell. He is likely listening right now in his humble abode. Tommy, we'll be sending you some stuff in the very near future. We got a lot of things cooking here on WMUN, 92.5 FM, 1340 AM, and all the rest. I cannot see the screen, but I'm certain that my mama and Roger in Minnesota are listening. They had some snow in their forecast. Did you get some more of that? Sister Sherry, Portland, Oregon, left coast, high. In the California area, San Jose, Los Angeles, Chicagoland. Are you going to get any snow? You're not done with winter yet in Chicagoland, are you? Let's get a snapshot of our day today.
It's February 19th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today's International Tug of War Day. Dropped from the Olympic Games in 1920, tug of war still remains a worldwide sport, and many nations have their own governing bodies. On this day in 2019, Bernie Sanders announces he is running for president for a second time. Also on this day in 2019, New York City bans hair discrimination to limit racial stereotyping. The U.S. Fifth Fleet launches the invasion of Iwo Jima against the Japanese with 30,000 U.S. Marines toward the end of World War II in 1945. In 1878, Thomas Edison granted a patent for his gramophone or phonograph, which was an early sound reproducing machine. Born on this day in Paddington, England in 1963, singer-songwriter Seal. Kiss Moroz, his biggest hit, released in 1994. I'm CJ Papa. That's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
Paddington, England. Is that the home of the Paddington Bear also? I really don't know the answer to that. My producer, Jackson Jacoby, is likely Googling that right now. All right, last night, Jackson was the one producing in the Axia Command Center the Ball State ball game, at which time the Ball State women basketballers did it again. Yes, they did. They won. They're now 22-5 overall and 13-1 in the Mid-American Conference. Now, at the conclusion of the game, of course, we have that presented by Pridemark Construction. We have the good fortune of talking to all the coaches after all of these great broadcasts. Now, remember, the score again was 88-55 over Buffalo. But head coach Brady Sallee, when asked about rebounding by his team specifically, didn't sound so happy about it.
Yeah, we were okay. I don't ever want to overlook a 9-point rebound victory, but, I have to look at the percentages that we got them back. But, again, like you come out of this, you shoot 47%, 37%.
Yeah.
They shoot 31 and 15. That's what this is going to look like. But, we've got to, like in a game like this, you got to play 40 minutes like that. And, but it was a good one. Got to play a lot of people, a lot of minutes. And, now we got to get on the plane, get home, and get prepared for the next one.
Coach, we saw Anise go to work in transition a lot today. How much does she add to your offense when she's working on the fast break?
Yeah, when she just gets it on the rim, nobody can really guard her. So I thought there for a while she was really our best scoring option. And we were playing some defense to offense. So, when the game can be played in the open floor, that's where she flourishes. And I thought she took a real good advantage of that today.
Love it, Coach. Congrats on the win.
All right, my man.
That is from last night's broadcast here on WMUN. Ball State women winning the contest here on the WMUN News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk. Let's stay on sports for just one quick second. I've got the list right in front of me of the games for Ball State baseball. And the home opener is March the 6th. Coach Maloney reached out through one of his handlers and wanted to make sure that we're telling people about that. We certainly will and are doing that. Central Michigan will be in town to play against the Ball State baseball team March the 6th to open the season at home. Then they'll have March 7 and March 8 also. There's home games on the 13th, 14th, and 15th of March, and then the 18th, Butler is in town. We have some news to share with you about Ball State baseball coming very soon. If we haven't talked about it already, I don't listen to the radio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I listen a lot, but people like, Mark Forrester on the Power Hour, contractually obligated to say that. That's today and every weekday from 4 to 5 p.m. live on the WMUN, News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk. And then you got your Kurt Darling, our Wolf Boom sports director, and they are working hard, always. In the high school season that remains, the Ball State coverage that we've had that began in the football season continues to power through this basketball season. We're getting closer to the Mid-American Conference tournament, and then quite possibly something that might happen after the Mid-American Conference tournament. There's other tournaments after that, dances and so forth. We're hoping that we will have some or a lot of that stuff to be able to bring to you here on the WMUN as well, all basketball related. All right, let's jump back to our list of items that people are talking about. She is back, but some say that she really never was gone.
Democracy 2026.
Former Vice President Kamala Harris is back in the spotlight. She announced her campaign's social media accounts are being reimagined into a new platform, pushing progressive news and views. Harris made the news herself in a short video posted online.
Kamala HQ, it's where you can go online to get basically the latest of what's going on.
The move was quickly mocked by Republicans, with one GOP campaign group writing, quote, "Kamala's return is like Christmas came early." Harris's return to the political arena comes ahead of November's midterms. The Democratic National Committee is still struggling financially following her 2024 run. The latest data shows Democrats $3 million in debt. Republicans have a much larger war chest with $95 million cash on hand. Senate Majority Leader John Thune.
I think we feel really good about where our Senate races are.
But other top Republicans tell Fox they are worried about their chances this fall. Mark Meredith, Fox News.
On WMUN, News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk, we're the talk radio of Muncie, Indiana, USA. We are presented every day by the Muncie Community Schools. Proud to have them and many others that sponsor this and all the other programs that we do, proudly bringing you what you need to know, what you want to know. And if you ever want to reach out and tell us something that we don't know, or perhaps reach out and tell us something that you'd like to know more about. People do that all the time, and we very much love those kinds of tips. You can do that several ways. You can email us, WMUN@woofboom.com, WMUN@woof like the dog, boom like the firecracker.com, like the interwebs. Or you can call and leave a message. That's a voicemail. That's 289-NEWS, 289-6397. Live radio, 825. Jackson Jacoby in the aforementioned Axia Command Center tells me, and I quote, Paddington Bear was made in London. In the lore, he's from Peru, Indiana, and got adopted at London Paddington Station and named himself Paddington Brown. Everything that I just read was directly from my producer, Jackson Jacoby. I ad-libbed in the Indiana content as it related to Peru. He did not mean our Peru. He meant the far, far away Peru. I'm certain of it. This is WMUN's Delaware County Today. News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk, and we also have the middle of the day covered with Tony Katz. The show is called Tony Katz Today, and he covers what is happening in the news now. He has some guests. He has some different ideas to share with you from his perspective as well as guests' perspective. He encourages you to be involved, too. He's got the YouTube page, and the video of the radio show happens whilst he is on the air. You can actually interact with him. I've heard him many times sort of talking to and with people that have sent him messages to his comment section on that YouTube page. It's interactive, and we hope that it's entertaining to you. Noon to 3 is the airtime here on WMUN, News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk. We're the talk radio of Muncie. Weather highlighting today. We're starting at about 47 degrees, and we've had some fog and school delays. Those are listed on all of our websites, included WLBC.com. See if any of those might have gotten extended. Otherwise, it stays cloudy. We get 65 or better this afternoon from WMUN meteorologist Paul Poteet. 41 tomorrow morning, and then the Friday high is 47 and breezy. Now, in between, we could have some thunderstorms. I spoke to Paul Poteet yesterday about the possible timing for us and when it might best be likely for thunder around here. First and foremost, he said that south of Interstate 70 in Indiana seems to be the highest threat level for tornadoes and or the strongest possible storms, though he said tornadoes are always possible in and around this kind of weather situation. And he said, as far as the timing for us here in Muncie, Indiana, and East Central Indiana, best timing is after 3 or 4 in the afternoon for things to bubble up. And after maybe 10 or 11 p.m., we might be in the free and clear as the, I assume, front is coming through that's causing all of the instability and all that. We will be on alert. You'll hear weather alerts, hourly forecasts from Paul Poteet here on WMUN. He breaks into our programming top of hour in severe situations. Paul is also heard on all of our stations in East Central Indiana. We'll also have immediate coverage on our WLBC 104.1 FM. Gary Joseph is the host of what's called the Drive Home Show on that station within the Woof Boom Radio Group. He will be live, local, and here for you watching radar and any sort of data coming in about impending or happening now severe or strong weather. And all of our other stations, too, are more than able and capable to make sure that you are safe and ahead of whatever storm might be headed your way. In a moment, we're going to get to our local news summary. Stand by. That is after what we call a timeout, which is now on WMUN's Delaware County Today.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Be prepared for the unexpected and keep your home powered with Generac generators. Their home standby generators serve as an excellent backup plan in case of a power outage. Plus, they have advanced technology to automatically start within seconds of sensing a power loss. Save big on Generac generators. Check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all our great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
This week in Delaware County, a weekly show on WMUN that's part of our promise to use our voice to build and connect our community. Listen Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. to catch up on local news, community info, and talk about issues and ideas that you need to know on 92.5 FM, 1340 AM, and on Alexa, say play WMUN.
Fox Sports Radio. Did you know we're on YouTube? Did you know you can find all of your favorite shows on YouTube?
Look at us. We're waving at you right now.
Did you know that you can find the best clips and the best videos from your favorite shows?
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched Fox Sports Radio, and you are the ones that hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You're the ones that watch videos from Two Pros and a Cup of Joe with Jonas Knox, Brady Quinn, and LeVar Arrington.
You can't even make this up. You got some holy water in your bag, baby.
Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd.
Wow.
Covino and Rich, The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Oh, my God. Oh, boy.
The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Think about that for a second.
And The Ben Maller Show.
Fox Sports Radio.
On YouTube.
That's strong stuff.
By searching Fox Sports Radio.
Check us out on YouTube, subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
This year, feel better with the right mattress. Mattress Firm sleep experts will match you with a supportive mattress, like the Tempur-Pedic Adapt. Its unique material absorbs motion and delivers support to help alleviate aches and pains. Upgrade to a Tempur-Pedic and get next day delivery. Shop Mattress Firm's President Day sale and save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets. They make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. Next day delivery available on select mattresses and subject to location. See store for more details.
Let's go! You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Live, weekdays from 8 to 9 a.m. with replays later. This is the Daily Delaware County Today with Steve Lindell.
And in the empty chair that you might be seeing if you're watching the video replay, tomorrow at about this time, State Rep J.D. Prescott will be in the hot seat. We also have plans for Kurt Darling with sports of all sorts. That's closer to 8:45. And earlier in the day tomorrow on the live radio show called Delaware County Today, Becca Clausen will guest in our video studio. She is from Second Harvest Food Bank ECI and will tell us the latest that is there and is available and also is needed as far as your help and support. Now, one of our regular features always on the program is our local news summary. These stories and more airing on all of our stations in East Central Indiana and always available on wolfboomnews.com. But now the audio is on WLBC and WMUN. The 5th District of Indiana Republican Party has determined Catherine Callahan is, quote, not in good standing with the party, accused of supporting Democrats seeking public office. Callahan running for the party's nomination in the State Senate District 25 seat against Mike Gaskell. There is more to this story from Madison County. It's on our local news page this morning. Indiana voters will decide this fall whether to amend the state's constitution.
Right now, Indiana's constitution says almost everyone is entitled to bail unless they're charged with murder, but the chamber voted 75-11 to approve a joint resolution that would change that. If voters say yes this November, judges could deny bail for anyone they deem a threat to the community. Supporters say it's a necessary step for public safety, but the Indiana Capitol Chronicle says the final call belongs to the voters. Jake McDaniel, Network Indiana.
A Winchester man who fled to England before being recaptured has reached a plea deal on 2 counts of promotion of human sex trafficking. Star Press says the deal for 22-year-old Louis David Galligan calls for a 9-year sentence. The Indiana Hospital Association says they're taking steps to stop abusive insurance practices.
That association says they've started what's called Access Denied. It features a web portal that breaks down how insurance companies block care, share stories from the media with examples of insurer practice abuse, and it includes a tool that allows people to submit their own stories. The association says recent polling shows that 8 in 10 Hoosiers have told them that insurers are mainly focused on making money, while 72% say insurers have raised healthcare costs over the last 2 years. John Herrick, Network Indiana.
The Muncie Baseball Softball Association registration is underway for 5 leagues for kids aged 3 to 12. Sign up information and the links on our news page today. An amendment to a House election bill would shorten the state's early voting period.
Republican state senators are pushing a proposal to cut Indiana's early voting period from 28 days down to 16. The Indiana Senate Elections Committee on Monday approved an amendment to a House bill claiming it would save money and make elections easier to manage. The original purpose of the bill, authored by State Rep. Timothy Wesco, addresses when local election officials can scan early voting ballots. The amended bill now goes to the full Senate. If passed, changes would come to this year's May primary, moving early voting from April 7th back to April 19th. Jarrett Lewis, Network Indiana.
The student-run Ball State Daily News had a photo gallery of a protest of ICE by some Burris Laboratory students on Tuesday. Ball State opted to not provide a comment when requested by Wolf Boom Radio News. The Muncie Makers Market's Night Market is tonight, 5 to 8 p.m. at the Mad Jack's Maker Force in downtown Muncie. Local shopping, food and drinks, community connection, and creative exploration. Free parking in the lots and on the street. 4 men are found guilty of a few charges stemming from a Hancock County home invasion 2 years ago.
The charges are burglary with a deadly weapon and conspiracy to commit burglary with a deadly weapon for Brian Jackson and Darian Riddle from Indianapolis and LaJuan Lee and Raynard Perry of Gary. Both charges are level 2 felonies, each bringing up to a 30-year prison sentence. The group will appear in court again 2 months from now for sentencing. The Hancock County Prosecutor's Office says they broke into a home in May 2024. A struggle between them and the homeowners led to a gunshot going off and the suspects scurrying out of the home. After months of investigating, the Hancock County Sheriff's Department ID'd the suspects, found them, and took them into custody. Jarrett Lewis, Network Indiana.
The Indiana State Police has set camp dates for 2026. The Anderson area events are listed on our local news page again now. Ball State shooting victim update. As we reported on Monday, the late Sunday night report of possible shots fired was a self-inflicted wound. We now know that it was a Ball State student and the shots were fired inside Studebaker West Residence Hall. Greg Fallon with Communications and Digital Strategy told us yesterday morning, quote, "That's all I have to provide at this time," unquote. Tornadoes could hit parts of Indiana today. Ryan Hedrick talked with the National Weather Service about what to do if one pops up.
A tornado can roar like a freight train or a jet engine. No matter the sound, it can cause serious damage or even kill, so always take warning seriously.
And seek shelter in the lowermost or innermost portion of your household or apartment. That's the safest place to be.
Forecaster Matt Eckhoff at the National Weather Service Indianapolis says the Storm Prediction Center has put all of Indiana at a 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather Thursday. Ryan Hedrick, Network Indiana.
Busy week coming at the Muncie Horizon Convention Center. Monday and Tuesday, the Indiana Section PGA Spring Conference, and Wednesday, the Indiana Family Career and Community Leaders of America visits town. The legal battle over a critically ill Henry County inmate is escalating.
Attorney Mark Nicholson has filed a $700,000 tort claim against the county, stating that Nicholas Gully was beaten and neglected while in custody. The claim says surveillance footage shows deputies punching Gully and applying pressure to his neck. This stands in sharp contrast to Sheriff John Sproul's defense that staff followed every protocol. As the legal paperwork moves forward, the human toll is mounting. Sources close to the family share that Gully remains on life support. Jeanette Cruz, Network Indiana.
More local every day on our free wolfboomnews.com. On WMUN, I'm Steve Lindell from our video studio on the campus of Wolf Boom Radio, south side of Muncie, Indiana, right next to the main building where things are starting to heat up right now. The staff arriving for another big day, both on air and off air. We appreciate so many people's efforts at Wolf Boom Radio for making certain that we use our voice to build and connect our community. Next item people are talking about, it is a far away country, but some have said that the important stakes are involved in world security.
Securing America.
As negotiations continue on a potential new nuclear deal with Iran, many are wondering if President Trump will eventually strike the Islamic regime if talks break down. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said during a briefing Wednesday, while diplomacy is the first option,
Iran would be very wise to make a deal with President Trump.
The USS Gerald Ford is on its way to join the USS Abraham Lincoln in the Middle East, putting 2 Navy aircraft carriers in the region. NATO Ambassador Matthew Whitaker told Fox Business's Stuart Varney,
American firepower, which is unmatched across the globe, is great leverage.
Vice President J.D. Vance told Fox's Martha McCallum Tuesday that the U.S. will not allow Iran to have nuclear weapons.
It's one of the most hostile and also one of the most irrational regimes in the world. You can't have people like that have the most dangerous weapon known to man.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
On WMUN, an affiliate of Fox News Radio, updates from them right around the top of the hour, every day, because news happens all of the time. Back to Indiana now. A story just moved from the Indiana Business Journal with Gary Dick, heard twice a day on WMUN with breaking business news directly from that source. Headline, the Chicago Bears zero in on Hammond site as committee prepares to vote on new stadium language. Reading this again just moments ago, sent from the Indiana Business Journal. The Chicago Bears have narrowed their interest to an Indiana stadium site in Hammond as state officials continue to work on a deal to move the team across state lines. And the Indiana legislature's House Ways and Means Committee is expected to vote this morning on new language meant to pave the way for the deal, according to IBJ source. And the meeting and its implications for Indiana's push to persuade the Bears to relocate their stadium to Northwest Indiana. Meanwhile, officials in Illinois are working on legislation meant to keep the Bears in state, according to Braden Moore of Capital News, Illinois. And officials in Northwest Indiana are seeing benefits from the Bears' interest in the region. There's a separate item about some development interest if that Hammond idea comes together. It would seem completely clear that if this happens, and I don't even know if it's high likely, low likely, or something in between, if this happens, they'd still be called the Chicago Bears. They'd still have that Bears logo. They're not going to change the uniform. Well, they might change the uniforms. But even though they would be physically, if this happens in Indiana, where their stadium would be located, they wouldn't be the first one to have a named team that isn't physically in the city or the state that they are in. You can Google that and find out which ones I'm talking about there. So we'll see what happens. Next item this morning, more now about that story regarding Iran.
The Brett Baer Minute.
High-stakes talks in Geneva this week as U.S. and Iranian officials met over Iran's nuclear program. Russia and Ukraine also continuing U.S.-brokered peace talks ahead of the war's 4th anniversary. Fox News senior White House correspondent Peter Ducey.
There's
some optimism just because the talks are continuing and the Iranians are saying they'll be back in 2 weeks. But things have not progressed to the point that President Trump is telling aircraft carrier strike groups that they can stop steaming towards the Middle East. All of the pieces are being put in place for the president to have options if these talks fall apart.
And then any sense about Russia-Ukraine?
The Russia-Ukraine talks are trickier because President Trump keeps getting assurances every time that he talks to Putin, times that we know about, times that he doesn't, that Putin is interested in ending things soon. He hears that from the Russian side. He hears that from the Ukrainian side. And there's a lot less optimism that that one is going to end.
I'm Brett Baer. We'll see you next time.
WMUN News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk. Brett Baer, a previous guest on this program. That was a bucket list deal. He's kind of a big deal, no doubt about it. You're a big deal, too, because you're listening and you're watching. We appreciate that and always do. Tell a friend about this. Replay the audio anytime at website address WMUNmuncie.com. You can also replay the video that we try to post every day of this program, the guests, and even some other fancy schmancy things that we're trying to figure out as we learn and grow this video studio component and the investment that Jay Chapman and Wolf Boom Radio has made to continue to further use our voice and our faces, I guess, to build and connect our community. There is a ball game tonight on this radio station. I'll cover that and a lot more through the hour. More to come on WMUN.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Alex Brown. The possibility of a Chicago Bears stadium in Northwest Indiana is already accelerating development planning, drawing new investor attention, and elevating the region's profile. Portage Mayor Austin Bonta, who last week unveiled his city's $5 billion stadium proposal, says interest from investors has already increased, and their interest doesn't completely hinge on if the Bears come to the area.
We've been contacted by 3 different institutions, entities that either want to see, if the Bears come, how could they fit too? And if the Bears don't come, they've got other ideas that they'd like to pitch about how they could be the anchor in this community.
Martin University's campus on the northeast side of Indianapolis has been listed for sale at an asking price of $3.5 million. The listing comes 2 months after the university announced it would pause its operations, citing financial and student enrollment challenges. This is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana University is shaping the future of healthcare with Hoosiers in mind. Advancing discoveries that become treatments for Alzheimer's, obesity, cancer, and rare diseases, and training the providers trusted to deliver them. From the lab to your local clinic, IU powers medical breakthroughs and the talent behind them. Discover how IU is solving what's next at iu.edu/impact.
Serving Indiana means being ready for growing energy demands. At Duke Energy, we're adding more power to the grid and working on hundreds of local projects to make your energy more reliable. We've strengthened nearly 20,000 poles, updated more than 270 substations, and prevented hundreds of thousands of outage hours with self-healing grid technology, so your power can come back on faster than ever. That's the smarter energy future Indiana deserves. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
Here in Muncie, we know what it means to show up for one another. We celebrate our wins, big and small. And when times get tough, we lean in, not away. At WMUN, we're more than just a voice on the radio. We are your neighbor, your friend, your connection to what matters most. Every morning, we wake up with you, sharing the stories of our city, highlighting the heroes you don't always hear about, and cheering on the teams that carry our hopes on their shoulders. This isn't just news and sports. This is home. From the streets of downtown to the heart of Delaware County, we're here because you're here. Thanks for letting WMUN be part of your day. We're proud to be your hometown station. Listen to Delaware County Today on Alexa. Just enable the skill, then say, Alexa, play WMUN. Now back to Steve Lindell.
On the morning program that is all about Muncie, Delaware County, and what we are talking about, what you are thinking and talking about. And high school basketball is one of those fun things. The tonight broadcast here on the WMUN is Pendleton Heights at the Delta Eagles. 6:50, 10 till 7 o'clock, I'm told, is the start time for that one tonight. Tomorrow we'll also have a high school game on our Oldies 101. Frankton is at Alexandria. Zach Johnson and George Bremer call those games. 7:15 is the tomorrow start time on Oldies 101. Yes, you can get those on the interwebs too. We stream by playing. The command on your Alexa device is play WHBU. That's how to make the speaker do what it's supposed to do for those Anderson-Madison County ball games. Tomorrow also here on WMUN, Ball State men's basketball coming off the loss earlier this week. They've got a 6 p.m. contest, at least the broadcast start time, right here on WMUN. The Ball State Cardinals are presented by Pridemark Construction. The next item here kind of might make you a little uncomfortable. It did that to me when I heard it earlier today.
Military Matters.
Top U.S. artificial intelligence firms are sounding the alarm about how their advanced AI models could be weaponized by the government to automate killing on a large scale without human control and to spy on Americans using mass surveillance. Malo Bourgon specializes in AI safety.
I think it's kind of scary to think about how that could be used in various military applications and how that race in general could lead to something far greater, which is something that I'm very worried about, that we might actually lose control of these models entirely.
Reports the Pentagon used the classified version of Claude, Anthropic's advanced AI model, as part of the Maduro raid, is raising questions about how the Pentagon plans to use advanced AI models. Angered by what the Pentagon considers Anthropic's overly strict usage terms, Secretary Pete Hegseth has threatened to cut ties with Anthropic, declaring it a supply chain risk as he tries to pressure them to ease their usage terms. For Military Matters in Washington, Jennifer Griffin, Fox News.
Next up, Fox's Gernal Scott has the second part of the Cannon Street YMCA All-Stars story.
Celebrating Black History Month.
Racism and politics kept the all-black Cannon Street YMCA All-Stars of Charleston, South Carolina from playing at the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. They did go there in 1955 and got a chance to work out on the field. As the crowd chanted, "Let them play," John Rivers, the team's shortstop, said one thought crossed their minds.
Sizing up us, we sizing up ourselves. We believe we could have beaten all those teams.
Almost 50 years later, 2002, the team's surviving members went back to Williamsport for a special honor, a banner validating their state title. Leroy Major, an outfielder on the Cannon Street team, called it amazing.
You can't believe it. It happened, and it takes a little time for it to sink in.
The All-Stars story is still being told today at what baseball considers its shrine, the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Next up, previewing next week's State of the Union.
Donald Trump's America.
Expect President Trump to talk about the economy a lot in the coming days, weeks, and months.
Watch the State of the Union. We're going to be talking about the economy. We inherited a mess, and now we have prices way down.
Dozens of members of the president's administration gathered on Capitol Hill recently to clarify talking points and messaging heading into the midterms to convince voters President Trump is on the right track on the top issue, affordability.
What President Trump wants Americans to understand is that this is only the start and the best is yet to come.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt regularly runs through a list of economic metrics like grocery prices and job growth.
The economy added 172,000 new private sector jobs to kick off the year.
But a slew of polling finds most Americans are not convinced. The majority rate the economy negatively in President Trump's handling of it. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
On WMUN, News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk. We're the talk radio of Muncie, Indiana, USA. Again, we remind you this is interactive. We want for you to reach out, have questions, have comments, have compliments. All of that is good, absolutely. please reach out and do that with an email, WMUN@woofboom.com. You can also call and leave a voicemail message. You might be used on the radio, 289-6397, 289-NEWS. From Mama in Minnesota and all the other listeners far and wide and near as well, for my producer Jackson Jacoby in the Axia Command Center, I'm Steve Lindell, thanking you for listening. Please do so again tomorrow, 8 to 9 a.m. live, on demand too, anytime at WMUNmuncie.com. This is Delaware County Today on WMUN.
Hey, it's Jonas Knox. You ever feel like running a business is just